3, 2, 1,
0,
0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Welcome back to TTMTrades. Man, this has been a great week. Last week was a great week. This week we made a little over $1,000. $1,000 and how much we make? $1,041.45 this week trading ticker ARDM, which is very good. Now, man, it was plenty of opportunities to make a lot more money. But again, remember, I'm doing the small account challenge and swinging my smaller account. But man, let's just look at a couple of plays that we've called out over this past 2 weeks. Man, last week we called out ticker RKDA from the run up from 980 up to 1244. We called that one out. We called out ticker PLX back when it was right around 44 cents to run up to 53 cents. Last week we talked about ticker ANY when it ran up from 44 cents up to 69 cents. Also, we talked about ticker VTVT when it ran from 160 up to 240. This week, we talked about ticker NLST and, alerted it back here around 15 cents. Well, did the YouTube video on it around back 15 cents when we said we saw potential profit. It ran from 15 all the way up to 30 cents for 100% return. Even talked about ticker DARE, D-A-R-E, with the symmetrical triangle forming for a potential breakout right back when it was at 108, and currently it's breaking out to 130. This is going to be the stock that we actually talk about today. And then for the big one this week, warned everybody about this one back on May 23rd. So on May 23rd, did our YouTube video on this one back when it was at 36 cents. It ran up to 45. And then we said, let's watch for the pullback to the 10-period moving average to see if it continued. And then it ran all the way up to 73 cents again for another 100% return, man. So these past 2 weeks have been crazy. And just, man, in the past, looking at some of my past calls, again, I'm a swing trader. Okay, so like I told you, when I point out a stock in my video, I see potential profit in it. But over time, it may be that day, it may be that week, it may be over the course of a couple weeks to a month. But just a couple past plays, ticker CLNE, we called this one back out on April 11th, and this one has literally went up 74% from April 11th when we first talked about it. What else? CPST, we talked about this one on March 6th, has literally ran 97% since we talked about it. Ticker MYO, when we played the swing from 380 to 510, 34% gain on that one. Ticker UGAS and CPHI, when we talked about that one back on February 19th, 20% and a 21% gain on that one. Even BPMX, when we talked about ticker BPMX back on February 26th, that one ran 116% from 16 to 35. And everybody knows ticker AKER. I did a video on this one first back when it was at 15.5 cents. And this one actually ran 500% because it actually topped out at 98 cents. So from the 15.5 cents when I first did my technical analysis on it, all the way up to that 98 cents, this one was a little bit over a 500% return. And then even a watch list I posted back in March when I was telling everybody to watch. You had ticker HEB, that was a 50% return. AMRS for a 14% return. NSPR for a 36%. IMPX for 58%. JAGX for 26%. We talked about ticker Acre BPMs, and then even ticker SPI for a 64% return. And this is on my watch list. This is the watch list I posted for everyone to pick and pull what stocks they wanted to play. And then even ticker UVXY back in December before the market even dropped, I forewarned everybody and said, hey, the stage has been set for a run, short-term pullback to 14, increased volume on higher highs. And this one actually ran up to $30 due to that market drop back in December going into January. And, this one was a 100% return play. Ticker IBIO for a 36% return. And ticker EBIO, which is now known for SESN. They changed their ticker since I warned you back in March 6th. This one has ran 143% return. So, I mean, a lot of profit. And then again, ONTX, these are the ones for the weeks right here. Back on, forewarned you back on May 23rd. Since then, NLST has went up 34%. Ticker ONTX has ran up to 86%, close to 90%, because the topped out at 73. So a lot of great calls, man. And am I saying all my calls are spot on? No, they're not. Sometimes my setup I see, sometimes it fails, sometimes it succeed, right? But we are definitely making great calls, man, and everybody is contributing within our chat room, man. I deeply appreciate it. Even some of our members are making great returns on their plays, and even some of our new traders who are new to trading that we're helping out are making small gains. $151, here $200, so it's been a blessing, definitely been a blessing. And some of the other fellow traders that I watch, man, I see they're doing good too. Some of the other traders, YouTube traders I watch is Warrior Trading. He's the one that actually got me doing the small account challenge. Once I seen him do that, I said, hey, I want to give it a shot just to validate my trading style and see how solid it was. And then even old boy Ricky from TechBook Solutions, I watch him from time to time, even though we got different trading styles, but he's another great trader. So it's good to have other traders to watch on YouTube sometimes, because sometimes you pick up great information from them also, and tidbits of information here and there that kind of helps you out. But let's jump right into the one that I want to talk about today. But man, these past 2 weeks have been amazing. All right, $1,000 this week, plus all the other great plays and trades that we made within the chat room. Beautiful. All right, so we talked about ticker Dare back on May 23rd, as you can see here when it pulled back. So one thing, like we said, that downtrend, we look for that W pattern on the Bollinger Bands when we want the bulls to show strength. And that W pattern is normally when the stock is in the downtrend, it'll push up into that middle Bollinger Band to show strength on the bulls. And then when it pulls back, we wanted to pull back into that 1 standard deviation Bollinger Band and hold above it, which it did right here, which showed the bulls, the strength of the bulls to maintain the stock from continuing on the downtrend, number one. And number two, maintaining it from dipping back down to the 74-cent bottom, right? So you get this nice little W pattern, you get the gap up here to 150, wasn't paying attention to it then, and then it pulls back into that middle Bollinger Band instead of the 1 standard deviation, runs up again, pulls back into that middle Bollinger Band again for support, runs up again. So as you can see here, the swings are getting tighter and tighter. This 30-period moving average, which is the middle Bollinger Band, is acting as the trend line, which is holding this stock up as it continues to trend upwards, right? As you can see, it had a wild swing to 150, then to 139, then to 128, then to 126. So you get this tight symmetrical triangle in a sense forming, and or if you want to call it a flag pennant, right? And this is what we were watching to see which direction this would break out. Here's your flagpole, here's your pennant. All right, if you didn't see that. And then all of a sudden you could see we was watching the Bollinger Bands were beginning to constrict. We knew that 30-period moving average, which is the middle Bollinger Band, was acting as a strong line of support. So we forewarned everybody to buy at the middle Bollinger Band, which is right at 108. And then we wanted to watch to see which direction the stock would break. Would it break down to the downside or to the upside? Now, one beautiful thing about this is it did break out to the upside, and some of the things that kind of forewarned us that it would break out to the upside is the fact that number one is holding above that middle Bollinger Band, and then it began trending above its 10-period moving average right here, which is the yellow dotted line, which those are two bullish indicators. Anytime a stock is trending above its middle Bollinger Band, that's a very bullish sign, okay? And then when the bands begin to constrict, that means that the volatility again is getting very low, which means the swings are getting tighter and tighter. And what I mean by that is you had this wild swing from 80 to $1.50, all right, which is about a 70-cent swing. And then you get a swing from 98 to 39, which is about a 40-cent swing. And then 102 to 28, 30-cent swing. And then 108 to 26, about a 20 to 25 cent swing. So you see how the swings are getting tighter and tighter. That is why your Bollinger Bands are beginning to come in and constrict, because the volatility is getting lower and lower in the price swings. So when that happens, that means one has to overpower the other. Either the bulls have to take control and or the bears have to take control, right? And as you can see, we was waiting for the breakout to the upside for the bulls to take control. So this could possibly be a continuation going into tomorrow, Friday, seeing that it is still holding strong at the high of the day, which was right around 135, and it's sitting at right at 131 on a pretty decent volume. Now, just to look at some overhead areas of resistance, because on the daily, when it starts breaking out of the Bollinger Bands, you have to go to a bigger picture to get an idea where your next line of resistance is at. So on the weekly, big picture, you can see you had this breakout, and then it consolidated above its 10-period moving average, and then you was getting that nice tight wedge on the, not wedge, but nice tight symmetrical triangle on the daily, and finally here's the breakout. So tomorrow you may see a push up into this next line of resistance, which is 166, where I would look to lock in some profit. And then once you get that test of the middle Bollinger Band, right, you will get a pullback. The same W pattern that we see on the daily is now building into the weekly big picture. So you want to see a test of that middle Bollinger Band at 166, where you might want to potentially lock in some profits and then wait for it to pull back into that 10-period moving average, which is still trending up, going into next week to probably make a re-entry. But right now, definitely 166 looks like its next line of resistance, as it is currently breaking out of those Bollinger Bands on the daily and sitting at 132, holding that high of day. So I would definitely keep an eye on this one going into tomorrow on Friday, and also going into next week. But again, man, TTMTrades, man, this has been an amazing trading week. As you can see, we've been watching ONTX for quite some time now, and man, a lot of money has been made between last week and this week. But an 86% run on this one for the week, and a 34% run, not even a 34% run on NLST. NLST actually ran 100%, because it topped out at 30, I believe. Yeah, it topped out at 30. So yeah, so we call NLST back when it was at 16. So you got an 86% return on ONTX, and then NLST from 16 to 30, you get right around a 94 to 95% return on that on that one. Two in 1 week. Two amazing call outs in 1 week, man. So TTMTrades, man, again, if you learned something, hit that follow button on the Stock Twist account. Stay up to date on all of my call outs, and hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And again, let's continue making money together. Let's continue making money together. All right, $1,000 for the week. Let's see what we can do going into next week. TTMTrades, I'm out.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.